Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on the new Alien Goddess for Mugler, and I am a little bit behind on doing this, but I did just finally get my hands on a sample. So I'm really excited to share my thoughts on this fragrance with you today. And if this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we talk mostly about perfume. So if that is your thing, make sure to head on down and subscribe. Feel free to jump on over and follow me on Instagram as well. And without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright guys, so I really do apologize for the lighting here, but I actually woke up at 3 in the morning with ants in my pants and couldn't sleep and wanted to make a video about Alien Goddess, so here I am. So I am whispering because everybody else is sleeping. But I think I'm going to make coffee pretty soon, just between you and me. So today we're going to be talking about Alien Goddess from Mugler. And this was a pretty highly anticipated fragrance. I think a lot of people were really excited to get this fragrance, and I think a lot of people were actually disappointed when they smelled it. And I was lucky enough to get a sample of this from a good friend of mine. So hello if you're watching. She actually brought this back to me from the city, and so I'm able to review it for you guys. So before I get into the notes, I will give you kind of a close-up of what the bottle looks like. Sorry about the packaging, it is a little worse for wear. And personally, I think the packaging is really, really beautiful. When I saw this on the website and read the notes, saw that it had bourbon vanilla in it, I was kind of hoping this would be a more vanillic version of Alien, and I was really, really excited. And of course, as many people know, Willow Smith was the face of this fragrance, so I think a lot of people were also expecting the fragrance to be very edgy, very bold, very modern, very interesting. And I think because Thierry Mugler in general is a very interesting, bold house that usually pushes the boundaries, I think people were expecting, sorry if you hear my cat, I think people were expecting this fragrance to do the same thing. So the notes that you have in Alien Goddess are coconut water, bergamot, jasmine, heliotrope, bourbon vanilla, and cashmerean. So yeah, let's give it a spray on paper and on skin, because it is quite different on my skin than it is on paper, and then I'll tell you what my thoughts are. Okay, so I just sprayed it, and initially, you guys, it is a very, very pleasant scent. It is a very pleasant coconut fragrance. Very light, very tropical. Immediately, I am reminded a little bit of Kayali Utopia, because Kayali Utopia had a little bit of that white floral component and the bourbon vanilla as well. I think it's the bourbon vanilla and the coconut and the white floral kind of background. It's immediately reminding me of Kayali Utopia. It's actually quite pretty, especially on paper. I don't mind it. If this was just a blind sniff and I didn't know this was supposed to be an Alien flanker, I probably would have really liked it immediately. I would have thought, oh, this is a very nice, refreshing, pretty coconut scent. So this is quite different on my skin than it is on paper. So I've only had it on my skin for about a minute or two, and it's still smelling very sweet and coconutty, and I'm getting the vanilla, and it's actually really scrumptious and beautiful and delicious. It's a little bit almondy and a little bit powdery, I think because of that heliotrope, and I'm just giving it a minute to dry down because I know that eventually it does change and it becomes something very, very different on my skin. So I'm just kind of giving it a second. So I've given it a couple more minutes to dry down, and what I start to pick up on my skin, not so much on paper or on clothing, but on my skin, it does start to give me a little bit of a animalic, a mineral sea-like accord, almost as if they've put sea notes or ambergris or something in here. It's not very strong, and it's not listed in the notes here, I don't believe. But all they say in here is bergamot essence, jasmine, bourbon vanilla, and they describe it as a floral, oriental, woody eau de parfum. It is giving me like sea notes. If you've ever smelt Ellis Brooklyn Salt, the one that comes in the cute blue bottle, I really liked that fragrance, but it was almost a little too dirty for me, almost a little too ocean-like or sea-like. It was almost as if they had taken the ocean water and put it directly into the perfume, and that's kind of what I'm getting on here. That being said, this is not a bad fragrance, you guys. I don't think that this is a bad fragrance at all. I think for what it is, it's a good fragrance. I think it's just not what everybody was expecting when it came to Mugler. Everyone was expecting that an Alien flanker should be kind of bold, and maybe it was time for a different type of Alien. While we've had our floral versions, musky versions, woody versions, but never something that kind of smelled like seawater and coconut. So maybe it was time, but a little bit poorly timed because of the whole world situation that we're having with all of our late releases of our perfumes. This would have been beautiful in maybe June. I think this would have been a beautiful beach scent. However, I do have to say that I'm not 100% in love with that kind of salty ocean air. Not even ocean air. Ocean air is okay. This is more like the water. I'm starting to get like ocean water. It turns a little bit dirty on me. A little bit dirty ocean water on me. And I'm not sure why or where that's coming from. But I don't really love that about this. I really like the opening in the mid. I love that fresh, juicy, sweet coconut paired with the bourbon vanilla. It is beautiful. At this moment on my skin, it's been on my skin for about 5-10 minutes, and it's really starting to develop into that saltwater thing that I don't really love. Also, it's not very unique because there's a million fragrances that are like this. And, you know, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt because there are a million coconut fragrances on the market, so it's probably not going to be very unique. But my impression is that I actually really like it until it gets to the dry down, and it could be a little bit stronger and longer lasting. It did last on my skin for at least, I would say, probably 3 to 4 hours, but was pretty much like just about non-existent at 4 hours, which is not bad. Not all fragrances are meant to last 6, 7, 8 hours. This is a lighter, more tropical, watery, coconutty fragrance, so you would expect that this one might be a little bit lighter. It wouldn't last forever. Now I will just quickly contrast it with the OG. My favorite fragrance of all time, well, one of them, which is Alien. The Eau de Parfum, just the original. And yeah, when it comes to comparing Alien Goddess to the original, it doesn't even smell like a flanker of Alien. It doesn't even smell like a flanker. They could have just made a completely different fragrance and not called it Alien whatever, because it doesn't bear any resemblance to my original Alien that people love so much, which is a bold jasmine amber woody fragrance. It's not even a shadow of this one. If they were going to call it Alien Goddess and make it coconutty, I still would have liked if it had some sort of remnants to the original Alien, which it doesn't. So it's a little bit disappointing. It's a little bit light. It's a little bit out there. It doesn't really make sense. It's not that original, and I mean, it's becoming pretty light on my skin already. It's not a big projector, it's more of a skin scent. If you were looking for a light, coconutty skin scent that basically makes you smell as though you put on a nice sunscreen and have been out in the ocean all day, that's what you're gonna get. It's very, very light. Even though it lasted on my skin for 3 to 4 hours, like I said, it's a very light skin scent pretty much the whole time. So you're not even getting really any projection out of an eau de parfum. Yeah, so it's really nothing like my favorite original Alien. Yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to this for me. And I'm really, really glad that I didn't blind buy Goddess, because I was tempted. Like I say, when I saw the beautiful bottle on the website, I was tempted to just blind buy it because I historically love Alien. So I thought this would be like a slam dunk, but it really is not a slam dunk, and it's not a safe blind buy. Picture a nice sunscreen, but with a twist of salt and very, very light. That's what you're getting with this. And the bourbon vanilla. The bourbon vanilla is pleasant, but it just doesn't hang around long enough. And then, like I say, it turns into this weird, salty, marine thing, at least on my skin. I don't know if it does that for everybody, but yeah. So you guys, that is my thoughts on the Alien Goddess from Mugler. A little bit disappointing. And yeah, that's my thoughts on this fragrance. So those are my thoughts on Alien Goddess from Mugler. If you have this fragrance, or if you have a different perspective on this fragrance, I would love to hear it down below, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you guys in the comments, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye for now.